Many unbearable hours later.
And I was thinking, as the men were talking, that the majority of women, they don't have a reason to be single. If if it were true that women actually saw men, as Trev says, women don't see men. They just, men are invisible. They walk past them unless they have something shiny, something fast, or something rich. They don't see them. They just walk right past them. And the other thing is that that's why so many women believe that they have so many options. And the truth is, you have options for sex, but you don't have options for marriage.
What?
I
She just
get
said
that.
something. Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, right? But you understand what you're saying, right? You saying the men that you encounter, and I'm willing to argue that the men that you find attractive and that you encounter 9 times out of 10, the other women in your circle will also find attractive. So when you encounter a man and you know, like, man, I could definitely fuck with that man. He knows in his mind that that when you say I want him, there's other women that also in your circle that want him.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the men that y'all talking about. You're not thinking about the man that you walk past down the street that you didn't give a shit about. You ain't thinking about the man that you walked past who worked as the greeter at Walmart. You didn't walk past him and say, "Oh my God, I could definitely give that man a chance." You didn't run into him, because if you would have talked to him, he would have told you. Like, if he walked up to you and said, "Hey, Miss Aisha, I would really love to take you out on a date," and you sat there and you he was like, and you was like, "Yeah," and you showed him a good woman, he would not be sitting there talking about, "So if I can't get you, another one will."
Facts.
Y'all don't see men. Y'all see.
That's facts. He's pretty much saying that most women don't see majority of the men. Now they may see like one good-looking guy like along the way during the day, but they don't see most guys. The guy at the checkout, the guy in the grocery store, the guy stuck in the shelves, the guy walking in the street. They don't care. You know what I mean? Which is true that most women like want the top 20% of men. That's kind of true because they have guys in their DMs. They have the good guys, the guys in the friend zone, but they will stick to that one guy who's like good looking, and they will forget all these guys. So when they have a bad experience with that one or two or three guys, they will say men are dogs. But it's like, how about all the good guys you actually don't even look at? All the good guys you ignore. All the good guys you friends on, all the guys who are not, you know, bad boy enough for you, or who not like gangster looking. You know what I mean? So they ignore all the good guys. They don't see them. And then when they have a bad experience with these few bad boys, then they say all men are dogs. It is true.
That man.
If he get you Aisha, that nigga that greeting, excuse my language. If the guy that's greeting him at Walmart gets you, the next thing
He
he's
ain't
gonna
about to
say,
sit here and be like, "Man, I could get another chicken. I can find another you." They like,
that's a Beyonce song. That's y'all thing. The man gonna say, "Mama, I made it." That's what he gonna say. "Mama, I made it."
What a mirror.
And that's the whole thing. Like, females really don't understand that from a man's perspective. Like 80% of men are invisible. Most men do not have access to most women, right? If we even talk about the 80-20 rule, we know that there's roughly 20% of men that's creating 80% of the babies. If we think about that, it's like, well, damn. You have to understand that all these women are giving the same guys a chance, right? Those dudes that you like, those dudes that you notice, those dudes that you can actually see when you walk by. Yeah, of course you're gonna be an asshole. You know why? Because you got it like that. Because all your homegirls want him too. Y'all competing for that guy or waiting for him to come around to you or whatever, but the desire is there. And the problem is all those dudes that you looked over because of some type of ick he activated or something silly, or maybe he was too short, or maybe you didn't like, that shirt he had on, or, his hairline might be receding a little bit. But guess what? That dude would have been a great husband. He would have been a great father to your children and all that. But y'all said F him because he didn't.
Yeah, but the issue is and the issue I think most guys have is like women reject other good guys when they're younger. And then it's like when they have babies with the bad boys, then now they require the good guys they used to reject to come and clean up the mess. You feel me? It's like, okay, I dealt with the bad boys when I was younger. Forgive me for being immature, but now that I'm older and I got a couple kids, now I want you. Now you come and I have all these high standards. You better come pay all the bills. I didn't require my baby daddy to have a stable job, but you, the new guy, you better come in and have a stable job and come pay all my bills. I don't want 50-50. I was just watching Kendra G's show, and this woman bought a house for a man in prison. I kid you not, the guy was in prison for a couple of years, but she bought a house so that when he comes out from prison, he can have a place to stay. But now she was on Kendra G's show, hoping she can find a new man. And for the new man, you're not getting a house. You better come pay for the bills. So most guys look at that and it's like, it's not fair. Why is it that the guy in prison, the criminal that you had babies with, you bought him a house, but now when I come in, you want me to pay the rent for the house? It's like, it's not fair. Like, why are you requiring so much more from me, the good guy, that you didn't require from the bad boys before?
Provide you with something superficial. And that's
'Cause he had-
crazy.
'cause his
So,
belt
okay,
buckle-
Fran, can Amira talk?
Hey,
Fran.
I gotta let Amira go.
Yeah, she been.
Oh,
go ahead, Amira, because she been waving and.
I've been trying. No, I wanted to respond a little bit to you guys because they made a really good point, Aisha. They made such a good point, and I know you started understanding it more that they started explaining it. You started understanding it, but the thing I wanted to point out was that when they were talking, I was thinking about how all the women are like, "Oh, I don't want to be single. I want to find this man." And I was thinking, as the men were talking, that the majority of women, they don't have a reason to be single. If it were true that women actually saw men, as Trev says, women don't see men. Men are invisible. They walk past them unless they have something shiny, something fast, or something rich. They don't see them. They just walk right past them. And the other thing is that's why so many women believe that they have so many options. And the truth is, you have options for sex, but you don't have options for marriage, because even though a woman, just like Aisha said, oh, when I go outside, so many men will talk to me and try to get me. Yeah, they'll try to get you, but they're not really, the majority of them aren't trying to marry you and see you decently. The majority are just talking to you because maybe they see you're cute, or to say, oh, I think she's cute, I want to do stuff with her, but I'm not gonna keep her. And I think that's why a lot of women, when they treat men so disposably, is because they think, I can throw this one away and I just walk outside and another guy is trying to holler at me, but that guy is not going.
Yeah, because they have one time a girl, my friend, she showed me how dating up inbox. She had 500 messages from guys on a dating app. 500 messages. Can you imagine dealing with a woman who has 500 messages from men? Guess what? She's gonna be easy. She's gonna move on easily to the next man. It's like, you don't do what I want you to do, so I'm gonna move on. The grass is green. I have more options. I have other guys who want me. If you're not taking me to an expensive dinner date, there's gonna be another guy in the DMs in my inbox asking me to take me out. So guess what? Most women will be like, oh, you don't want to pay for my expensive dinner? Johnny will do it. Peter will do it. Dan would do it. Steven would do it. So they easily move on because they have so many options, because they have so many guys who want them in their inbox. So she's right. Most women believe they have so many options and the grass is always greener because so many guys hit on them. But the issue is not all those guys want commitment. Not all those guys want to marry you as a woman. So it's upon you to decide that, hey, listen, is this a good guy? Or would you rather at the slightest something happens in the relationship and you're ready to move on because you have so many guys? And another point they touched on is a woman will reject a good man who walks past her and he says hi. But if that same guy came in a Benz or a Lamborghini, that same guy she just rejected can be the same guy in a Lamborghini. And if he said hi, she would say hi back and even want to have a conversation with him. It's crazy.
Going to marry you. He's not going to take care of you. So
Oh, go ahead.
That's exactly what my question was. If it's so many marriageable wives, then why are you single?
Facts.
If you're such a wife, why can't you find a husband? Because I'm saying that you believe, Aisha's perspective, you believe that men think that they have more options than they do. When that isn't even a problem. That's not even a probability to say that it's true, because the person that is hunting knows how many options are available to them. Now, the person that is getting hunted, you don't know how many. You recognize the ones that are coming after you, right? And so most men know, like what Sweeney's saying, who they can approach and who they can't. And when I think somebody has said this, the current thing is that women believe that they deserve a particular man that they really don't qualify for.
Facts.
For example, I would beg to differ that the majority of the women, of course, as Ricky says, there's nobody on the panel, believe that they deserve a man that makes money.
Yep.
They deserve a man that is already well put together, which means that he has money. They believe that he should already have the car, the nice things that he's supposed to have already. They're not looking to be what God says you're supposed to be, is to be a helper. And you are to be a helper to get him to where he is supposed to be. And Proverbs 31:10 even says that it's hard to find a wife because she's more precious than rubies.
Facts, man. That was facts. It was spitting facts. First of all, many women pray for a good man. But you know something they never pray for? They never pray to God to be a good woman to that good man. They just believe they are good as they are, and that good man should accept them the way they are. Let me repeat that. Women will pray to God. They will fast. They'll go to overnight prayers. They will pay tithe to the pastor. They'll go to the pastor for prayers to find a good man, a good husband. But there's one thing they won't pray for. They won't pray to be a good woman or to qualify for that good man. And God is not dumb. He's not going to give you a good man so that you can mess him up. You feel me? Because most women are like, what are you doing for me? How much money do you make? How tall are you? Do you like my kids? I already have kids. I come as a package deal. Are you going to treat me like a princess? Are you going to do A, B, C, D? They have a list of things they want from a man. But you know one thing they never have? They never have a list of things, of tangible things they're giving that man. Like he said, many women expect the man to do all these things, but they never think about, do I deserve a good man? Am I going to treat him well? Have I worked on myself? Have I got therapy? You know, what does that man want from a woman? Do I have those qualities to qualify for that man? They never think about those things.
And one of the things that women think that they are is a ruby but they're not. Because if you're a wife, then you would see men.
But that's why fathers are important, humble dad, because the father is the one who tells the girl, this man is not wanting you. He wanna. That's it. I'm not gonna say the words, but then the father is the one, and that's why I said father is so important. Because in my case, we get married, and like we were talking, Aisha and Ty yesterday, we were talking about the mahar, and I told you that virgin women they can ask for anything for marriage. You know, and during marriage, you can ask for 50 gold bars, and you'll get that. If you're not a virgin, you can ask for 50 gold bars, but you might get 50 quarters. Right. So you don't, it just, you know, because of that. And that's why I think it's important, because the men are the ones who give the value to the women's. The women, if you ask a woman how valuable she is, she's going to say she's the most precious thing. She's this, I am wife material, I am this. But the man is the one who's going to decide if you are that, not you.
And that's what I keep
facts. That's facts. I think that's why they call in the dating market. They call in the dating market because in a market, there's a seller and there's a buyer, you know? So if you are the seller, in this case, the woman, you're selling your oranges and you claim no one is buying them. Maybe the oranges are not as ripe and they're not as good as you claim they are. Because if they're that good, you're going to have one buyer who's going to come test one and buy the whole thing. The same thing applies to men. And the only thing, the difference is, as men, we know what we qualify for. I may want an IG model all day, right? But I know it's going to cost me. I may want a Beyonce, but I know it's going to cost me. So I don't care how much I want 10 Beyonces, but if I don't have the moolah, if I don't have the money, it's never going to work. So as a man, I know that if there's a Beyonce who's like a 10 and there's a 5, I'm going to look at my bank account and say, okay, my bank account says I don't qualify for Beyonce right now. I qualify for this kind of woman. But for the ladies, whether it doesn't matter what they are, what work they've done of themselves, they all believe they deserve the top, highest quality man. They never talk about what they're going to provide to that high quality man.